Welcome to Mount Ayr, Iowa. And Mount Ayr is in Ringgold County. And last year I did a video about the 10 smallest towns in the state of Iowa. And 3 of those towns were from this county. And so this is the county seat of that county that has a lot of small towns. I'm sitting here, in the town square. It's a beautiful town square. And so let's take a little lap around the town square. As the sign here will tell you how far it is as you want to do some laps around the town square. So let's take a lap around and talk about the history of Mount Ayr, Iowa. Like I mentioned, Mount Ayr is the county seat of Ringgold County. It is in the southern part of Iowa and borders Missouri to the south. Mount Ayr is pretty much right in the middle of Ringgold County. It was settled around 1855, and that's when the post office was started. And it was named in honor of a poet named Robert Burns, and his birthplace was Ayr, Scotland. They added the mount because this was the highest point in elevation around this area. There was previously a different county seat in the early days of Ringgold County, and they ended up moving it here in 1855 when this town was started. They incorporated the town in 1875. Population was around 400 at the time. The railroad was built through Mount Ayr, and by 1880, the population had tripled. The early years of the downtown had several fires that caused issues, and it took them a decade or so to try to figure out how the best way to have a fire department and deal with the fires were. The downtown area then began to build up once they had that all figured out, and the town continued to grow. One of the more notable people from the area is Peggy Whitson. Whitson is a retired astronaut who worked for NASA until 2018, and she went to high school here in Mount Ayr. She flew 665 days in space, more than any other American, and a little tribute to her is right here on that rock. Mount Ayr has several parks. They have a golf course, a lake, and a small airport. As you can see in the population figures, we talked about how the population tripled there around 1880 when the railroad came through, and then continued to go up. Peaked in 1980 actually, and has come down a little bit since then, but been holding steady with at least 1,600 people for over 100 years, and now is at 1,623.
I'm here on a Sunday, so you know it's very quiet downtown on a Sunday morning in a small town like this, pretty much all over in small town America. And so that's, if you're wondering why it's pretty quiet. So I stayed in town last night I stayed at the Mount Air Inn, which is definitely a nice hotel if you're looking for somewhere to stay in this area. And it was busy, the town square, restaurants, and there's a couple bars here. And so actually I came down here to Lefty's. And Lefty's, I walk in and there's no one here. I'm the only customer. And the bartender, who's the owner, he told me there's a big event this weekend, and so like people are not really staying in town, so all the normal people aren't there. So I was here by myself. And in a lot of these places, they don't take credit cards, they only take cash. And so I'm sitting there and I go, oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this beer that I'm having. And he goes, don't worry about it, it's on me, on the house. And he had no idea that I was here to do like a YouTube channel or anything like that, or a YouTube video. And so we start talking, and Lefty was his dad. His dad was a baseball player. His dad was a pitcher who threw left-handed. Really good baseball player. Had got injured, but knew all these big-time players. And inside the bar is all of this memorabilia, signed pictures from some of the most famous baseball players. It's like a museum in there in Lefty's. And we start talking, and then he gives me another beer, knowing that I can't pay for it. And we just have a great time just hanging out and getting to know each other and learn about him and his family and about the town. And yeah, so thanks, Lefty's, for the free beverages. Hopefully this will bring some customers to Lefty's. And normally, I know he's said they're normally pretty busy, but they weren't last night. So my benefit. So, but you go to a town like this, that's pretty common to have just somebody who doesn't know anything about you, just to be friendly and to give you, something like that when he knows that it's not that I wasn't meaning to pay. I just didn't think of carrying cash, and I had no debit card or anything like that, just a credit card. But yeah, it's a beautiful town. I love all the red brick in the downtown. So I definitely would recommend coming and visiting Mount Air, Iowa, and then maybe even visiting some of the other small towns that I had previously profiled here.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end of the video. And now that you're here, let me tell you a little bit more about all the other things going on this channel. If you want to become a member, you can become a member on either Patreon or YouTube memberships. There's 3 different levels, and as you are on a different level, there's more and more things, behind the scenes videos, different things that you're going to be able to gain access to. Make sure you check out my website, travelwithawiseguy.com. There's a whole bunch of new stuff on there. There's a merchandise link with some new cool merchandise. There's a newsletter that you can sign up for. About every 3 weeks I send out a new newsletter that's free. I have Google Maps, which has documented every place that I've made a video about, and you can click on there and you can go to the map and you can find the videos that I made, and it's all in one very convenient place. There's lots and lots of other stuff on there, so make sure to check out the website and explore all around what I've got going on. But once again, thank you so much for watching this video.
I hate when people drive by just right when I'm recording. I said no one was here, and then all of a sudden somebody drives right past me. There comes another one.